What if I told you Dylan Wang and Bai Lu might already be engaged, but no one was supposed to know about it? The velvet box, the secret smiles, and the whispers behind closed doors have finally surfaced, and what we uncovered will leave you completely speechless. The whispers began in the quiet corners of the industry, too faint to be noticed at first, yet powerful enough to stir curiosity among insiders. Dylan Wang and Bai Lu, two of the most admired names in the world of dramas, have always shared a chemistry that felt too real to be confined to the screen. Fans adored their pairing, critics praised their natural synergy, but behind the glow of the cameras, something far more personal was happening, something that would soon set the internet ablaze. It was during a late-night gathering in Shanghai when the first glimpse of this secret was accidentally revealed. Sources claim that Dylan and Bailu were seen sitting closer than ever, away from the crowd, their conversations so hushed that only those nearby caught fragments. Words like promise, future, and commitment slipped into the night, leaving everyone who overheard stunned. Could it be that they were not just acting on screen but were planning to take the ultimate step in real life? As the night deepened, Dylan was spotted gently handing Bailu a small velvet box, quickly hidden when the cameras flashed from afar. She smiled, her eyes glowing in a way fans had never seen before. Those who witnessed it swear it was not just a gift, it was a symbol of something greater, perhaps the start of an engagement no one expected to come so soon. The internet erupted the following morning when photos of that mysterious box leaked. Fans across China, Korea, the USA, Canada, and Europe began piecing together every little clue. Was the box a ring? Was this the moment Dylan and Bailu finally decided to take their relationship beyond the set? Was this the engagement that would change the future of Cdrama forever? Neither Dylan nor Bailu confirmed anything publicly, yet their silence spoke louder than words. When asked during an interview, Bailu only smiled and said, "Sometimes the most beautiful things are the ones we keep to ourselves." Dylan, on the other hand, laughed softly and replied, "Some secrets are worth protecting." But fans were relentless. Hashtags like Dylan Bailu engagement, secret promise, and forever started now trended across platforms. Theories exploded. Some said the engagement had already happened privately, with only family present. Others believed the velvet box was merely a charm, a prelude to something even bigger coming. What no one could deny was the tension, the excitement, and the undeniable glow on both their faces every time they appeared together since that night. The drama did not end there. Soon after, whispers spread of a disagreement between close friends who felt the relationship should remain secret longer, fearing it could affect ongoing projects. Yet Dylan and Bailu seemed unfazed, often caught exchanging secret glances, a language only the two of them understood. It was as though the world faded whenever they stood side by side. For fans, this secret engagement story became more than gossip. It became a fairy tale of its own. One filled with mystery, hope, and the thrill of knowing that behind the scenes, real love might be blossoming stronger than ever. Whether confirmed tomorrow, next month, or years later, the world will remember this moment as the time Dylan Wang and Bailu's future together first made its mark. The whispers began with a single photograph, a blurry shot of Dylan slipping something small into his pocket at a late-night dinner. At first, fans thought it was nothing, perhaps just a gift from a friend or a token he carried for good luck. But those who were there that night swore they saw a tiny velvet box, the kind that hides the kind of secret the world waits years to uncover. Bailu had arrived separately, wearing a simple dress that caught the soft glow of the lights, her expression calm but unreadable. She moved through the room with grace, greeting a few people here and there, but her eyes kept searching, landing on Dylan more than once. When their gazes met, something shifted in the air, like a current only they could feel. No one dared to speak, but everyone noticed. Later that evening, a fan leaked that Dylan excused himself quietly, slipping out to the balcony where the city lights painted the night in silver and gold. Bailu followed moments later, pretending to be on a phone call, her steps quick, her voice barely audible. Witnesses described that moment as one of the most intimate silences they had ever seen. They stood there, just a few feet apart, the world bustling behind them, yet in that moment it felt like they had stepped into their own universe. And then it happened. Dylan reached into his pocket, pulled out the box, and opened it just slightly, enough for Bailu to catch a glimpse. Her face froze, not out of fear, but out of something deeper, something that looked like a war between joy and hesitation. She covered her mouth, her shoulders shaking as if fighting back tears. Dylan whispered something. No one could hear the words, but those who saw swore it was not a question but a promise. The night ended without an answer. They returned to the crowd, acting as if nothing had happened, smiling for the cameras, laughing at jokes, blending back into the noise. But the truth could not be hidden. The way Bailu's hand brushed against Dylan's arm, the way he glanced at her every few minutes as if making sure she was still there, the unspoken language of two hearts carrying a secret too heavy for the world to know. What no one understood was why they kept it hidden. Some believed the timing was wrong, that contracts and expectations from the industry forced them to bury their feelings under layers of secrecy. Others think the fear of public backlash, the weight of endless rumors, kept them from stepping into the light together. But one thing is certain, something more happened that night, something that none of us were supposed to see. The velvet box was real, the whispers were real, and the emotions that danced across their faces were too raw to ignore. If this was not an engagement plan, then what was it? And why did Dylan look at her as though the entire world lived in her eyes? The night of the velvet box ended quietly, almost too quietly. For two people who carried the weight of millions of fans' expectations, Dylan and Bailu walked away as though nothing had happened, their steps calm, their faces carefully composed. But those who paid attention noticed small cracks in their performance. Dylan's smile seemed a little heavier, his laughter just a little delayed, while Bailu's eyes carried a glimmer of something fragile, something she desperately tried to hide. The next morning, the whispers spread like fire. Anonymous accounts posted vague details online. A caption surfaced with the words, "He brought out the box but never asked the question." Screenshots flooded social platforms. Fan discussions lit up across USA, Canada, China, Korea, and Europe. Everyone demanded answers, but Dylan and Bailu remained silent. Then something strange happened. At a press event 2 days later, Dylan arrived wearing the same jacket he had worn on that fateful night. Cameras zoomed in, searching for any sign, any trace of the hidden ring box. His answers during the interview were polite but distant, his mind seemingly elsewhere. When asked about love and relationships, he paused, his eyes flickering for just a second, before he simply said, "Sometimes timing decides everything." The room fell silent. Reporters exchanged glances, fans replayed the clip endlessly, and speculation reached new heights. What did he mean by timing? Did the proposal really happen, but the answer was not what he hoped for, or was he still waiting for the perfect moment? Meanwhile, Bailu was seen attending a brand event in Shanghai. She looked stunning, but those who knew her well said her smile was different, softer at the edges, like someone holding onto a secret too heavy for words. During a backstage interview, a reporter casually asked if she believed in marriage. Her reply left everyone stunned. Marriage is not about the ceremony, it is about the courage to face the world together. It was enough to send fans into chaos. Was she indirectly speaking about Dylan? Was this her subtle way of confirming what had happened on the balcony? But the story only grew more intense days later when a fan caught Bailu leaving a jewelry store late at night. She wore a mask and a cap, but the cameras captured her clearly. She walked out with a small bag in her hand, her head lowered, her pace quick. The internet erupted. Could it be the ring? Did she go to choose one herself, or was she returning the very box Dylan had revealed to her under the city lights? Theories spun endlessly. Some said it was love, pure and undeniable, being suffocated by the rules of fame. Others whispered of disagreements, of promises made in secret that could never be fulfilled under the harsh light of public scrutiny. But what no one could deny was that something had changed between them. Every glance, every gesture, every silence carried more weight than ever before. The engagement, whether real or not, had turned into more than just a rumor. It became a legend whispered across continents, fueling conversations from Los Angeles to Toronto, from Seoul to Beijing, from Paris to London. Every fan wanted the truth, but Dylan and Bailu gave them only silence, and in that silence, the mystery grew even louder. And then came the message that shook everything. An anonymous insider posted late at night, "The proposal happened. The answer is not what you think. The real story is just beginning." The world froze. If this was true, then what exactly happened on that balcony, and what secret are they both still hiding?